All right, everyone, welcome in. We have an interesting question to ask tonight. Thank you for coming on in. Thank you for coming to the live watch party. Uh, Straight up, will Stranger Things be remembered as the best Netflix show this year? Um, Quite an interesting question, right? I don't. Well, I would say, I guess, depends on who you ask. Um, that's always true. Many of our Cobra Kai elite will say never. Stranger Things may have more viewers overall, so you'll just get more fans proclaiming it greatest ever. But yeah, but I think we'll have to think. What will it come to? Watch Party, you make great videos and theories and make shows interesting. Great creator. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Max. Thank you. And we're gonna get more Stranger Things. So what happened this week, by the way, guys? I'm like writing a video early this week, and what was it, Tuesday? Well, my wife gets home, lets me know that her father, my father-in-law, was in the hospital with what looked like to be a stroke. Minor stroke, but certainly scary. And so we were at the hospital Tuesday and did some stuff Wednesday and even later Thursday or something, or Friday. Anyway, it definitely disrupted the video making schedule last week. And then I was out of town yesterday and today. Partially I got back, but for a 50th anniversary, which, obviously we knew that was coming. But of course, there's always something new. But it's okay. I'm happy he's, he was able to come home and recovering and seems to be doing really well. So that's good. The downside for the channel is didn't get the watch party videos. There's been some good Stranger Things little clips they've been releasing. I have a couple ideas for some videos, so I'm going to hope tomorrow I'm going to wake up early probably, and we'll get going on it. It'll keep coming, guys. You're ready. What's up? Hi. Joseph Vang is very enthusiastic to join the crowd. Join the live watch party. A lot of good stuff is coming. Stranger Things is an interesting show because, I think, really connected for some people. I think, the kids when it came out, kids that age, 8th grade, maybe high school, but middle school ages, anywhere from 10 to school age, they all loved it. It connected in ways, no one even expected. I listened to a podcast, or I did. I found it. What was it? Something media, whatever. Stranger Things podcast. It was a guy who's a podcaster, runs a lot of podcasts, and his daughter. She had finished it, or she was in 8th grade, right? And she was in love with the show and watching it again with all her friends and everything. And he's a serious podcaster, and is well, maybe I'll do a podcast on this show with, my daughter. So anyway, that's what they did. And it was funny because just listening to it as it went through, like season 2, she was then a freshman, like in high school, and talking about like getting so excited in class or whatever. And then she was like, getting older or something. And then eventually, like even when season 4 came out at that point, I mean, that was 2000 or 2022, right? And at that point, it had been like 5 years or something. Like she was out of high school at that point. And then it was like, was it 4 years? Yeah. She was out of high school, and so she's now like just already in such a different life stage, and even kind of talked about that a little bit, and I do want to go back. I assume they'll do the last season, um because I don't think she was in college at the time, but obviously it's been now 3 years since then. So who the hell knows? Maybe she's married or something. I don't know. But it's funny. It's funny when like a parent starts a podcast with his daughter, like about like the show, but then the show takes forever. Um, and then let's see, yeah. So they put out a teaser breakdown. So anyway, we'll see. OG Sonic is here. Hey man. Can I ask for this live stream to limit Stranger Things spoiler talk? I'm still in season 2. Okay. I think I'll give it a try. I think, I can't control the chat, but I think most people will be pretty good. But glad you're making it way. I remember I told you to just give it a shot. Just sit down and watch it. Gonna get through season 2 and 3 this week. Dedicated. Yeah, season 4 is a little bit longer. It's 9 episodes. So, but if you're pushing through, you can get it. So just keep going. Everyone has different opinions. Cobra Kai rapper from the 2000s. Watch buddy, what's up? What it do? I hope your day's going well for you. And also, last Thursday was my 22nd birthday. 22 years. You know what that means? Just yesterday, a couple on the morrow. It was his birthday, singing it with no sorrow. He said he's from the 2000s and is currently 25, 22 years. That was 2003. He was born. So as it turns out, it's been real all along. He really is the Cobra Kai rapper from the 2000s, 2003 to be the exact. Sometimes you don't rhyme, you just bust the words, you just gotta bust the words. There we go. Hey, happy birthday to you, Cobra Kai rapper from the 2000s. 2003 to be exact. It's good year. A lot of birthdays going through. Um, so I think people were talking about birthdays last stream. So it was some opinions about the future of Karate Kid. What were those opinions? I didn't see any, but by all means, feel free to share. I don't. I mean, who really knows? Um, there will likely be some sort of spinoff. We'll see what they push towards. Do you feel it's best they just end it with Cobra Kai because Cobra Kai wrapped things up such a perfect way? It would not feel right to continue it. Maybe most of Miyagi prequel. Well, they did end it with Cobra Kai, so to speak. That show closed out what they were doing. Johnny Daniel, all that stuff. The movie came in and pissed on some of it. Out of their control, and it. So, they might as well go forward. Here's the thing, and the movie shows this. If they have like an idea for a Miyagi prequel or something, they might as well give it a shot, because here's what's going to happen. If they say, you know what, we've had fun in the Miyagi verse, we're going to walk away, do something else, that's fine. You'd respect that. But what could ultimately happen is then, someone else is going to come up and say, hey, I got an idea. And, and then Sony, which just wants to make money, wants to use these properties, they don't want it's now like an active property that's making money. They don't want to, turn that spigot off, think of it as like a spigot, if John, Josh, and Hayden walk away, it's likely someone else will come up and do something. So it might as well be John, Josh, and Hayden, especially if they have an idea that they want to do. And it seems obviously, pretty clear they do, maybe even multiple ideas. So, obviously a story should end on a good note, and it did. And that's the end of Cobra Kai, and something else will be something else. But we have Cobra Kai will be what it is. I'm gonna rewatch the entire series after you watch season 5. Makes sense. I rewatched season 4 a couple weeks back with Wife Party. She actually hadn't seen season 4. She saw 1 through 3, and then we watched it. You're welcome, Cobra Kai rapper. Melissa's here. Do you think Stranger Things will top Cobra Kai Netflix shows? That's what we're wondering. Look, it'll get like the minutes watched. It's a longer show. It's an hour show. And it probably has a bigger fan base, so you have more fans proclaiming it. But ultimately, if you're objective, what will you think? And that's a good question. Only 9 more days. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Star Court Food Court. I mentioned this earlier. I'll say it again. And I tweeted it like I was going to be putting videos out, and then my father-in-law had a stroke last Tuesday, I think it was. Sort of put a damper at things. We had to go over to the hospital, and then Wife Party was with him a lot, so it kind of obviously hampered the video schedule, but luckily he's recovered. That they would keep him in like a rehab, but he didn't have to. He went home, so and looks to be doing much better. So I will be getting back. I got some stranger. I want to make some videos on these little clips they put out, the training scene and some other stuff. I don't know. I have something. I want to make it fun. We need like fun Stranger Things videos is what's been missing. Even in my own stuff that I made, I kind of like looked back on it, or it thought about it at a time. It's like, we weren't getting quite the humor and stuff, that watch party is known for. So we'll try and get it all. Melissa, Miss Cobra Kai, 3 years, over 3 years since season 5 feels insane to think about. Yes. Season 5 Cobra Kai was in August 2022. Jeez. Oh man, life changes a lot, man. I'll never forget. If you want a little tidbit, sorry, I was on a little trip by myself, driving, and when I think the trailer dropped, or not the trailer, like the photos, and like, so I had to drive like 5 hours to get home, go live, and I'm like live and such. Anyway, it was just, and here I am now sitting in the extra bedroom in a different state because now I'm married to someone who I didn't even know at the time. So there you go. Last thing I want for this series is to get sequel trilogy Star Wars style. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be that much. It's never going to be like Star Wars where it was like a Star Wars almost every 3 to 6 months, right? Like it wasn't quite like that. Or you're saying sequel trilogy? Yeah, that's just Star Wars is its own unique thing. Is Stranger Things not already more popular than Cobra Kai? Probably if you did a head count, yes. Stranger Things is like a pop culture phenomenon. Yeah, it was, and it was dying. Season 4 knocked it back up, but it's been 3 years, so it's dying again. We'll see if season 5 can reconnect. Remember all the memes going back to 2017. There you go. Yes, he is home now. It seems to be doing much better. Stranger Things most popular of the last decade. Yeah. Needs to stick the landing like Cobra Kai. Very well said. Very well said, Star Card Food Card. Shows are always known for how they end. Yeah. You really got to stick the landing. If you figure like great ending, okay, suitable ending and horrible ending. If great ending is Cobra Kai, horrible ending is like Game of Thrones. There's really actually maybe there's not even much in the middle. Other stuff, Big Bang Theories. If you ever watch, I watched that show. That actually ended well, like about as good as like a sitcom like that could. People say Breaking Bad, stuff like that. I never saw The Sopranos. Didn't some people disagree about the ending of The Sopranos? Maybe that's like a somewhat like controversial, but I didn't watch it. So, Demogorgon. Yeah, of course. Honestly, very few shows end well. That's true. More true than we prefer. Really depends on how you look at it. Goes hand where it goes back to the old how you start and how you finish. Yeah. How you start. Well, they always say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. In sports and stuff. Ultimately, really in shows, it's definitely more about finishing than starting. But if you don't start great, you won't stick around. So there's that problem. Oh, Pretty Little Liars. I know of the show. I never watched it. How are you doing? I'm coming okay. I'm actually kind of tired because, like I said, I was actually out of town last night at a relative's because we were doing something and I didn't get great sleep, but I'll manage. Ended a year before Cobra Kai premiered. It was so bad because the showrunner changed the storyline constantly based on Twitter reception. Ooh, that's a bad idea. Yeah, that's just like you're never gonna have like a good show. Just tell the story, make the best story you can, and tell it. And if people guess it, okay. If people think, oh, that's dumb, maybe they're wrong. Like you don't know. You gotta stick to your guts a little bit though. Trying to stay away from spoilers. Yeah. Movie level epic. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, for as long as they took to shoot everything, I mean, it really is like cinema quality. So Dexter, really bad ending. So bad they brought it back. Well, you know what? Now that you're on it, they had a Sex in the City reboot that everyone said it was just horrible. Like that was just like everything about it was bad. And then they just canceled it. Like they probably didn't know it would get canceled, but it did. Someone said it even had like them trying to get pooped down the toilet or something. It was like this audience isn't a Sex in the City watchers. I mean, I wasn't, but I read about it. So pretty much another millennial hearted thing killed by wokeism, which is what everyone said it was. Hector's or Miguel's father, Hector Salazar. What's up, my man? What's up? Why didn't you show up in season 6, man? I had you. I had you for season 6. Gone. Gone. Oh well. A good version of Euphoria in its first 3 to 4 seasons, but fell off, became like Euphoria levels of mid. Haven't seen Euphoria, but I know it's bad. So I hate Zendaya. If you watch these streams, you know that. But I did watch the very first episode of Euphoria when it premiered, and I remember thinking, "Wow, what a bad show!" Like I don't nothing about that makes me want to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch this one again." Like, come on, like that was like I was just like, "What are you gonna do? You're gonna watch another week to see if all these dumb people like survive? All these dumb high school kids can survive without overdosing like another week or something?" Like I was like, why, man? Why? So dumb. Best ending of TV shows, a kids cartoon from the mid tens. Disney XD, Gravity Falls. Um, didn't that star? I don't know. I've heard of it. Gravity Falls. Does my nephew like that? I don't know. Hmm. I have heard of Gravity Falls, but I actually don't know what it is. Thanksgiving plans. Um, I'd probably be with my in-laws, I think. Um, although we may have an invite with well, my brother and sister-in-law and their family. I guess they were hoping we're going, but it's like an hour drive, and wife party suspects she'll be tired, so we'll see. A spinoff will do. Yeah, spinoff. Why not? Back to the Future is good. Which one do you like? I know the first one is always good. Of the Back to the Future movies? I don't know. I guess the first one's the best. I think the third one's underrated. A lot of people didn't like it because it was like just became like a Western. Um, but I always liked the third one too. Office dropped in quality after Steve Carell left. Yeah. Series finale is another great ending. Well, there you go. Gravity Falls, highly good. Question about Mike Barnes. What is in the name of the um the name of the dojo he was in? We only ever know when he fought for Cobra Kai. Whatever other school Mike Barnes was part of, like, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Kenny's here. Hi, Kenny. Breaking Bad had a great TV show. Hey, yeah, I mean, it led it to a natural conclusion. Like maybe you knew where it was going. There's days you prefer 3 over 2. Um, yeah. I felt like 2, I don't know, just a little bit like dark or scary or something when he comes back in the alternate 1985. He walked in on Terry having a bathtub. He says something like, "Wow, this place is intense." Listen, you didn't have to be very poor to think that whole Terry Silver's getup there was intense. I'd say, I mean, you could be like middle class and think that. like Terry Silver was over the top, you know? It's not like only poor people would have thought like, "Oh, that's intense." I mean, hell, there's probably plenty of rich people out there who would be like, "What the hell?" Do you think there's a chance we see Mike Barnes in the future? A bit more of his background. Yeah, I would love that. I don't know how we get there. You know, what's the show? What's the story? I mean, we don't know. We don't know what's being thrown around. But if there's a future set show, so to speak, a show set, you know, after the events of Cobra Kai, I definitely think we could get a Mike Barnes. There's so many ways to bring him in. Their fans turn you off. You watch it eventually. It's, you know, Breaking Bad. It is like Vince Gilligan. It's a slow burn show for sure. It's just one of those shows. It's like every episode is like, oh my god, like, oh no, and then, you know, I think one thing you like about it too is, you know, like the main character, he's a smart guy. We like smart people doing smart things to try to overcome their problems, and maybe it's a little more morally dubious, hence, you know, the name of the show is Breaking Bad. He's gonna break bad, you know, get out there. Michael J. The Fox in Zootopia. Well, it's nice to see that Michael J. Fox can still do a little something. Unfortunately, his Parkinson's is pretty bad, but Marty and Biff as rivals. It's epic. Well, that's true. Yeah, like I was at a panel that had the cast and stuff, and this is right after Breaking Bad ended, and you're right. Those fans are really, really intense. I could see him being a sensei for Robbie and Tori for whatever it is that they're sponsoring with their karate skills that they compete with. What do you think? Yeah, that could be like a traveling sensei with them, coach, even just, um, yeah, I like that. I like that. Or he wants to put a team together, get back into it. We'll see. Why did Mike Barnes and Chosen have full rebounds and become successful, despite being far worse than Johnny in their initial movies? But Johnny just hit rock bottom. I think it was okay. Well, let's go in order of what you said, Mike Barnes. Well, Barnes gave us an answer. Like he met a girl and his like father-in-law taught him carpentry and furniture making, right? Like he credited his father-in-law. So that's like the Barnes. So Barnes had someone to guide him. Johnny did not. Chosen had Sato, his uncle, who would guide him and help him. Chosen felt shame, but Sato helped him. So Johnny did not. Johnny lost Kreese. So, and that's ultimately the key to it all, right? Kreese like choked him out. They ran away. Done with that. And then of course it's not like Sid was a guy in his corner. So that's what happened. Johnny lost Kreese, but Mike Barnes had, father-in-law. Chosen had Sato. Michael J. Fox will be a sad death when he goes. Okay, well, let's not bury him. Yeah, we'll just we'll let it go. Mike is the only one we don't know about, at least before Cobra Kai came out. Who was his sensei? It's never answered, Was never there. I forgot to message T-Flex champ. Sorry, guys. Cobra Kai got bigger Netflix ratings and Stranger Things, right? Every season kicked all competition on Netflix. I don't really. It certainly didn't get like by measured of minutes watched because it's not as long of a show. Which is the biggest thing with Netflix, minutes watched. Definitely it was really, really big when it took off when it first dropped. But Stranger Things probably has more fans overall worldwide. Kreese may not have been a good mentor or idol, but he was something. He was something that brought the best out of Johnny. Even if maybe in some ways it also brought the worst out of Johnny. but you know, it was something. He failed Chosen. Um, I think Sato felt like he failed Chosen, but I think Chosen felt like he failed Sato, and so that's the difference. So Chosen was trying to make right. Oh, Mike Barnes needs a spinoff. We haven't even gone deep with him. Well, that's true. That's true, man. It's a shame T Flex Champ's not here because he loves Mike Barnes. Um, man. Stranger Things 2 is a slow burn for so far. Yes. Yeah. I mean, as you saw it, what always kind of frustrated me about Stranger Things 2 is, as you've seen, Mike and Eleven are separated, and I felt like them being together is so much of the drive of season one. That when they're not together the way it is there, you feel like something's missing. Like, oh man, and it's funny because it's in the show a little bit, right? Like, this isn't a spoiler. You should have seen this so far. Like, Mike was like acting up, right, and just not doing well, and his dad was like, "What's going on? You're strike two, or you get two outs, whatever." Mike was like unsettled because he wasn't right. Um, so yeah. So that's where you are in season two. But it makes the show harder to watch. Chosen was raised to hate Miyagi, and Sato taught him to be like this. That's true. Both shows had bigger fandoms worldwide, yeah. After Stranger Things, what will you do next? Cobra Kai and Squid Game ended. Now it's Stranger Things. Um, it's true. We'll see. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, maybe. We'll see. Do more Learn Party. That's true. But I lean to Cobra Kai. I definitely lean to Cobra Kai too. What's your favorite season of Stranger Things and why? Um, um, I don't know. I liked season 4 the most, and then probably season 1. Um, I think like season 4 really worked in many ways. That you just didn't expect, and that was really good. It's more deeper emotions and challenges and everything. But yeah, part 2 ended with Quan death. Woo, woo, on a knife. The answer is no, but I'm looking forward to stream. There you go. There you go. Matt Moore here, dropping some sense. Dropping the sense. It's Stranger Things. It'll be good, but it's not going to be Cobra Kai. Oh, Max is your favorite character. That we did get Max in season 2. She was the fun one, playing around with Mike and everything. Cobra Kai seems enormous in Brazil. Yeah, we've always known they had a huge Brazilian fan base. Um, Great Brazilian people online and everything. Oh, the leaks. Yeah, yeah, the leaks were unfortunate. Maybe I can do One Piece. I don't know. Billy Hargrove. You relate to Billy. Why? Because you didn't like Max? I relate to Billy so much. I just didn't like Max. uh, Gonna take off to watch Stranger Things. Like Johnny, increase in its progression. Um, um, no, no. The two doctors, yeah. No. After Stranger Things, we already have announcement regarding spinoffs for Miyagiverse. Yeah, yeah, that would be great. It would. You're right, Melissa. Hopefully, um, somewhere around there we get an announcement. Still hoping. Still hoping. I don't know. Don't know, man. Um, yeah, still hoping. Yeah, this year, man. I mean, yeah, I don't know. T Flex Champ is here. T Flex Champ, you missed it earlier. They were talking. Everyone was saying, "Man, we need Mike Barnes spinoff." Everyone wants Mike Barnes spinoff. Maybe he's a sensei to Robbie and Tori. Maybe something else. More info on Mike Barnes. It was really the Mike Barnes um live stream for a while there, but bad. The Bad Boy of Karate was definitely um, a thing. Everyone said the same thing. Yeah, I know. Actually, that's how I forgot. I realized I forgot to message you because I was like, "Oh, T Flex Champ would love this." I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot to let him know." A lot of great content creators in Stranger Things. Sure, I feel like the YouTube on Stranger Things is like it's just not as cool as like the Cobra Kai YouTube was. It's like different. If that means anything, it's like more segregated or something. I don't know. Kevin Thompson mindlessly bash Robbie. I don't even know. I don't think he's ever shown up. So I instead had people who just want to redo all season 6, like sign a petition, whatever. um It's strange we got a lot of leaks on the final season cover, but not on the final season of Stranger Things. Well, here's the thing. We'll see. If you recall, the leaks actually started after part 1 dropped. There really weren't many leaks before part 1. It was stuff started coming after part 1, and then it just kept kind of going more and more. So let's see what happens. I mean, we'll or be on the lookout for what happens after part 1 drops. We got but basically like a month gap. That'll be the test. It seemed to pick up as it went along. There weren't really leaks before part 1. Yeah, Cobra Kai had a lot of great creators. Me, Strife, and others. We'll get the spinoff. Man, I wish I had the answer for you. I wish I could come and say, good news. I know when the spinoff is. I don't. I don't know nothing, man. I'm hoping this year, and I'm even starting to think if we not do this year, we do the 1-year anniversary of when it finished. But let's still hope for this year. What's the logistics behind why marketing for 6 was slow? Here's the thing. For years, Netflix has never been that big on marketing. In their mind, in the minds of Netflix, the biggest marketing is the app itself. You load up Netflix, it says, hey, this new show's out, and people click it and watch. So they just don't spend as much money on marketing. They don't see the bang for the buck, It's not like a movie where you got to market and get, the box office and people there on opening weekend. It's not like that. It's just sort of like people watch Netflix because they open up Netflix and see what's there and then they click it. So Netflix just doesn't want to put a lot into it. They're putting a little bit more into Stranger Things because it was one of their flagship shows, I guess. Can stuff like that literally be due to the head of marketing being on vacation? Well, no, not that. But yeah. I mean, it's more of a business decision. It's ultimately how much money do you want to put into it? I mean, that's really just the thing. And there's not a return on investment, as they would say in business world or whatever. They can put a lot of money into the marketing, but it's not like they're getting more money back because of that. So it tends to be more minimal marketing. Miyagi now lost the fight. Which Miyagi fight is your favorite? Uh-oh. When he fights Kreese and Terry Silver in Karate Kid 3, he's like, wah, wah. Good sort of improvised moment by Pat Morita there. Classic. Stranger Things Cobra Kai crossover. Yeah, it's got to come sooner or later, right? What's going on? Still happy about Knight Rider. Yeah. Still happy about Knight Rider. Mm-hmm. Which series had actors that looked less like kids and more like adults in the final season? Cobra Kai or Stranger Things? I think the Cobra Kai actors are actually older than the Stranger Things actors, at least on average. There's a little bit of variance. It's just the Stranger Things actors started younger, right? I mean, Millie Bobby Brown. I was going to say she's not. Is she 20, 21? or something. Like, how old is she? Like, I mean, like, I know she's like older, but she's not like insane. Like, how old is Millie Bobby Brown? 21. Yeah, she's 21. Like, I mean, Mary Mouser's like 28, right? 27, 28. Yeah, I think, yeah, like 27, 28. Um, like they're all older. I mean, like Steve and Nancy and them, they're a little bit older. But if you're especially going after like the core younger kids, I mean, they are younger than like the Cobra Kai actors. After Cobra, they need to make another show like Cobra Kai. Well, they know that. Netflix knows it. John, Josh, and Hayden know it. Everyone knows that. Wait, what's the question? Is Cobra Kai that top show on Netflix right now than Stranger Things? Yeah, for me, definitely. Definitely. Netflix put a lot of marketing into season 4. Yeah. I did not see the new Running Man. I did see Critical Drinker's review of it. He didn't think it was ultimately worth it. If you had the option to choose between Miyagi spinoff or a spinoff about Hawk, who do you choose? I would choose the Miyagi one. We already have a show with Hawk. Netflix put a lot of marketing into season 4, but not 5 or 6. Yeah, I think they do less and less, especially as the show's budget got bigger. They just gave it the money to the budget. There was an interview with the kids at Cobra Kai. They asked which show is better, Stranger Things or Cobra Kai. They said Stranger Things. No one can touch Miyagi. Is the Mike actor related to Gianni? No, I do not believe they're related. They look so. They do look similar, but yeah, but not related. Miyagi's unbeatable and unstoppable, for sure. They ruined Miguel in season 4. Which character other than Miyagi? Oh boy. Maybe we get the Julie Pierce spinoff. What do you think? How about Julie Pierce? Yeah, training by Johnny Lawrence. It's a bummer the show ended. I feel like season 7 could work. They explore Mike's story and introduce Julie. Yeah, that's a different show. If you want to do Mike or Julie Pierce at this point, it's going to be a different show. It's going to be something else entirely. That's just the way it's got to be, you know? Cobra Kai put martial arts back in the limelight. Yes, it did. Very good job at it, too. More martial arts based stuff. Like the guy said in season, I thought karate guy in the 80s. Classic line. Did you like this stuff? Thought karate died in the 80s. Okay, thank you, OG Sonic. Thank you for coming on in. Glad you were here. talk more about Tori's backstory since we know there's a lot more to explore and left unanswered. Definitely a lot they can do. I think we got more what we had coming. We got those flashbacks in episode 5, season 6 with her mom. And they were gonna protect and everything. We're gonna learn to fight. We don't need a prince, and I think we got the story we suspected was there. So, I think like more backstory would be superfluous at this point. Sensei Wolf Iron Dragon. It's new and fresh. It sure would be. It sure would be. In some ways, I think Wolf is more interesting than even I was gonna say Drago. But yeah, Wolf is kind of where it's at. He's a good actor too. I forget his name. I know he's in like the Mortal Kombat coming up. Definitely some good stuff. So yeah. Who's your favorite, Daniel or Johnny or other characters? As far as Cobra Kai, I would say Johnny. I mean, especially Johnny getting the win at the end. It's such like a happy ending. And it's like great, but he does it his way. He respects Cobra Kai. He makes them the world famous. That's just like the way it's got to be, Literally inspired kids. Yeah, for sure. Nephews. They're doing Cobra Kai. Hyped for season 5. Yeah, a lot of people are. The hype is building, man. The hype for season 5. It's going to be good. Yeah. Miyagi's the GOAT. I mean, he wasn't really a character in the show, but yeah. Mike Barnes was a lot of fun to watch. It's a shame we didn't get more of them. Yeah, it's a shame, but what we got of Mike Barnes was really, really good. How about a spinoff of Julie Pierce? Well, that's what I'm saying. I think a Julie Pierce spinoff has a lot of potential, I mean, it's comes down to Hilary Swank, but if she's into it, and maybe she would like something more about herself. I don't know. It didn't work out for Cobra Kai, so I just put that out there to see. Hey, maybe it'll happen. Maybe I change my mind on Hilary Swank. Master Kim, Sam, and maybe Chosen training Okinawa. Chosen spinoff in South Korea, and Robbie and Tori as well, for sure. Yeah. A lot of different potentials there. A lot of different potentials. Do they support a whole show? Just one episode in a anthology? I don't know. Let's see. Chosen is good. Mike Barnes deserves to get another chance of winning a turn, right? Yeah, you kind of want the Mike Barnes comeback at some point. So see if he can do it. If he can get the bad boy treatment, get the spinoff. Furniture Man, Mike Barnes. Shows is not a bad idea. Why are all the best shows ending this year? I can't help you, man. Because they didn't end 3 years ago. It's true. Squid Game, Cobra Kai, and Stranger Things all this year. So it's sad. It's sad, but we'll see what comes up next. You know, you never know. Like when Squid Game came out of nowhere. We'll see what happens. Guys, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. Unfortunately, I have gotten a headache and wife parties on her way home. So Stranger Things videos will be coming this week, and let's have some fun. Let's make them good. Let's have a good time. We don't know what happened to her dad. And it's not about her dad. Tori was never about her dad. Feel better. Thank you. Thank you. I hope to. All right. I love you all. Take care. I will see you at the next watch party. Bye bye.